Times.
Just like old times.
It's like old times.
Shh,
Talking
here they come.
about what are we talking?
Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. You know what that means. It's It's Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt. I'm Darby. We are here every week helping you grow and scale your business whilst avoiding costly mistakes. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. We're kind of going to do a 2.0 from last week. That's what we kind of talking about. We have a lot of things to talk about in the interim as well. So we're going to weave things in and out of there. We've been at the Colorado Home and Garden Show for my entire life, and we'll be there for the rest of my life. And so we've been there for a long time, but we look amazing. We look better than anyone there. And that's a fact, Jack. You can come there and check it out. We look better than everybody. All these fools coming up going, your booth looks really nice. Yeah, I know, man. Are you buying a pool? Then leave. That's been my
Get the out.
yeah. Are you buying a pool? No, I'm over here with the pooper scooper. Go poop, go scoop some poop. We don't have time. So we'll get into all that and my sunny disposition. But before we do all of that, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nick Lippitt.
Has anybody shit on the turf?
No, but I was at someone's house today doing an appointment, and a chicken shit right in front of me. They had chickens running around. The chicken came up in front of me, and they're like, "Oh, that's Helen," and Helen took a big chicken shit right in front of me.
That sounds about right.
I thought that was symbolic or what, but
that sounds about right, Helen.
Yeah, Helen. Yeah. So no one's shit on the turf yet.
Oh, well, happy Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. Man, I'm so glad we got some new people hired and we're in the process of training. Because I can only take a foot up my ass for so much longer before it's going to become a problem. But yes, the Garden Home Show does look amazing. I've had a ton of people reach out to me about it. I've actually had a lot of people. I've had a lot of people comment on it on social media too. Darby, you know the war video?
Yeah.
It's got 18 comments today. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need to create more of these things. Dude, it gets so much attention. It's nuts.
Also, shout out to Katie because somebody put, they're so expensive. They won't even put the prices on the comments. And Katie responded with the prices.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that and I wanted to delete it and re-respond and put, here's another keyboard warrior.
You can't do that.
He has two pictures. And his title says, private message me if you want to see all the Epstein files. That's the only thing that's on his Facebook page. So I also wanted to put, if you have to ask what the price is, we know you can't afford it. DM us.
That's facts too.
That's facts, Jack.
That's been facts at the like people are coming up going, how much is that pool? We're like, just keep walking. Just keep walking. If you're asking me how much that pool is, it's 40 grand. It'd be great for my dogs. Okay. You want to spend 40 grand on your dogs. That's people just for the little one.
And they will.
Yeah. Yeah, they do and they will.
I would spend 40 grand on my dogs.
I know you guys would for sure.
Yeah. So those of you out there that are trying to get attention on social media, just start being a little bit more, what's the right word, Darby?
Edgy,
spicy.
Also direct and transparent, right? Unabashedly transparent, which is a new thing for you. You're trying out.
Rachel said, yeah, okay. No, dude, we've posted a couple new videos in there. I mean, I straight up just told everybody, I'm going to break every myth in our industry. Shot Creek Pool is the only pool that can have you swimming in 10 days or less. And it's creating some fire.
Well, our guys are getting those fiberglass pools in, and people are swimming. I mean, our guys are they're just dropping them in so fast too. Like it's pretty. Our guys are so efficient right now. So
is MG on here right now?
Yeah, he's there.
Hammer Time Harless's equipment is running. All the coping is done. You could literally swim in Harless tomorrow if you wanted to.
That's incredible. It seems like yesterday it was just dirt everywhere.
9 days.
That's incredible.
I know Avery's been following this one. It's a little bit different than his days in Michigan. 9 days, bro. There is no bulge in the sun deck either, and the walls are straight.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Plus, Victor fell in the pool, and every time we go out there, he's in the bathroom. So, I mean, this is incredible.
And he's still getting it done.
Right?
That's a big ass pool too. A big. I like to call them. I just made this up. Squiggly pools. Rachel calls them.
They're
squiggly
organic.
pools.
Dude, someone posted on my Instagram page. He's like, "Can you explain to me what an organic pool means?"
No pesticides.
It's made out of fucking flowers. There you go. It literally says organic shaped. What do you think it is?
We are
You're
surly
looking at a
today.
pool that has S curves all over it.
Oh man, it's gonna be that kind of call, everybody.
Yeah.
So batten down the hatches. Yeah.
The igniter is fucking lit. Let's go. I'm
Let's go.
so over the bullshit in our industry in Colorado right now. I'm gonna start calling people out by name.
You know, when I post the podcast, it asks me if there's explicit content in the podcast. So this one will be a yes. This one will be a yes. So I just got to remember.
What's
Providing
explicit?
myself.
I have my clothes on.
Well, I mean, from the waist up.
True.
True. That's all that matters.
I asked Herbert the other day, I said, "Hey bro," he had a dress shirt on. I said, "Are you wearing shorts right now?" He said, "I am."
Yeah, he did the
Dress shirt
Forrest.
and shorts.
Yeah. Remember Forrest did that on his first interview with you guys. He was
Yeah,
wearing
and I made him
short
stand
pants.
up and called him out.
And now he just wears short pants out in the open because he gets to now. So good for him. Dude's
That's
been running
true.
for a long time today. He's been going.
He does just wear sand. What are you drinking over there? Mushroom tea?
I put it in a teacup so you won't know that it's just straight whiskey.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I have a little tea bag out like it's hanging out thing, but it's whiskey. So
Do you have appointments in the morning?
I do.
You might be mad at me.
God, why?
I had to give Desmond your car
What?
just to get home and get back.
When's he coming back?
Well, I could have him be back early to get it on the charger if you want, because there was only 100 miles on it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put it on the charger because there was only 100 miles on it, and I knew I was going to need it. That's why I put it on the charger.
on that one.
Yeah.
What time's your first appointment?
9. It's 9 or 9:30. I want to say it's 9 o'clock, and it's in like Littleton or something.
Perfect.
So
All right, I might have to tell him to go to the
I will,
supercharger and drop it off.
I can give you my
Well.
card, Darby. I can get mine into the office by 8.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it after this. But it was really funny, Darby, because you and him are on very, very, very opposite sides politically. I had to show him how to drive your car, and your radio came on, and I said, "You might want to turn that off."
that shit better be back on when I get in there. The car is set up for me, my man. So yeah, NPR baby, let's go.
Anyways, so back to what we're talking about tonight, because this isn't helping anybody on this call.
it's
Avery's
not.
he's just looking at. I'd call him out and make him show us, but he'd be embarrassed. He's either on Pornhub right now or OnlyFans.
He's showing you, and he is. Let's just text messages.
Oh, that text message says, "Honey, we're moving to Colorado."
Yeah. What's the update on that, Avery?
Yeah, Avery, let's call you out. What's the update on that?
The update.
Still in the process.
Oh, your bed's still made since you left.
That's good.
It's
Still in the
another-
Still
process.
smells like cheese curds.
At least it's cheese curds.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Um,
We're gonna edit out the first 50 of this call. Hey, everybody, it's Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt. It's Wednesday night.
Listen, man, sometimes you just got to keep it real.
Oh, yeah, we do that.
Here, let me tell you, Darby. If we chatted for 50 minutes and only talked about the conversation of what we're going to talk about for 10 minutes today, I'd add more value to everybody on this call than anybody else in the coaching space in 10 minutes.
No, that's true.
So take it or leave it.
Yeah, take it or leave it, man.
Sometimes you just have to listen to our bullshit until we get there.
but we do get there. That's
We
the thing.
get there every time. Darby or Avery wants me to teach him how to do what I do in Michigan. If I actually add value to this call, there's no way he's moving back.
Right. Well, that's true. So we should make it bad.
The more of this nonsense, the better.
Did he leave? Oh no, he's still there.
No, he's still there.
He'll be back. We have an office pool.
We do have an office pool.
I I'm heavily he's coming back.
I think we should install a splash pad in our office and move Matthew out to the front table, or just have him work in his truck.
So, yeah, either one. I think we should. That thing's cool. You know, we have that thing in at the booth and I've not really seen that many of them. I don't talk to people about them that much, but they are really cool. And there are a lot of people who are talking about doing those. Like, shit, I just want this in my backyard. And it would be a pretty cool setup if you have like a TV and you have a little space. It could be kind of cool.
It'd be a nice place to just chill out.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you're
Cool
chilling
off
out.
if it was really hot.
Yeah,
And you could turn it up. However, I don't think you'd love it at 104 because most of your body's out of the water and you'd be freezing.
yeah, it probably wouldn't work. But yeah, it's cool. A lot of people have been really, really into it. So it's been a lot of pictures have been taken. And Forrest has sat in there for people. It's been nice. All right, so it is Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt. You can go to elevatetogreatness.co to find out more information. Check out the Heartbeat community. We're going to be adding a bunch of cool things there, so stay tuned for that. We have our posts that we post throughout the week, so there's always some cool stuff in there as well. And last week we were talking about efficiencies, inefficiencies, and it got so. I mean, Nick couldn't really get to really a tenth of or even 100th of what he wanted to talk about. So we're rolling it in to a 2.0, talking about efficiencies. Talking about not going to, he talked last week about not going to Home Depot 17 times in a day and not stopping for
pisses me
gas.
So today, we'll get into it, right? So a lot of the conversation today, it's going to be very much a 2.0. However, it's going to be a 2.0 on the side of what it looks like to actually manage a project and why it's so important for profit, right? So it's an extension.
Yeah.
So today we headed out to the first project, Desmond and I. am training a new superintendent because Avery moves at a fucking snail's pace. So hired this guy, Desmond, good dude. Avery and Desmond would get along really well, actually. They could probably be roommates that solve that problem. It's either Tim or Desmond. I'm sure he'd pick Desmond. But we showed up to the job site and like I told him all the way there, right? We were just chit-chatting. I said, listen, man, I know you've already heard me. He follows me on social media. I said 2 goals. Client experience and efficiency. And so today he got all of it in less than 30 minutes. I got a text message from yours truly over there on Colorado Boulevard in I-25.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I can't be there at a hard 2:00. The wife calls. I didn't answer. She says, hey, I need you to call me. So I pull into the driveway. I'm like, okay, Desmond, here we go. Here's 1 goal of 2. Client experience. I called her on speakerphone. I said, listen to this. And it started exactly how you would expect it to start.
Yeah.
Right? Little hot. Accused us of not communicating. Blah, 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 blah. And I said, Melissa, I said, blah, 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 blah. I said, I completely understand where you're coming from. Listen, I'm not going to throw it back in your face. That's not what I'm here to do. We could sit here and stand on a hamster wheel about this, However, you guys are accusing us of showing up a half an hour late, which I assume is better than not showing up at all. And I think that maybe happened last Thursday. Right. And again, I'm not trying to point fingers.
Right.
We can't go back. We can't deal with anything that's in the past. Let's just finish strong, finish up. I said, I didn't get to where I'm at for fucking 18 years because you fill out a punch list paperwork and pay that portion of the payment. And then I don't show back up.
Right.
And of course, just like yours truly, her friend.
Yeah.
I get the response of, we got a lot of friends that are asking for your referral or your recommendation for you guys. And we're just on the fence about that. And I'm like, hey, listen, it's all good. You don't need to refer us to anybody. You certainly don't need to use that as a threat to me to finish my projects. We finish our projects no matter what. If you have a referral or not, we're going to finish our project.
Do they think no one's ever said that to us before? Like we've never heard that before. Like, oh God, they're going to give us a referral. We better get to it. Like, come on, man.
So then, of course, I flipped it and I got off the phone and he was like, damn. He said that went from a direction I certainly didn't think it was going to go to where it went to. He said, it's crazy how fast you flipped the script. And I said, you're going to learn how to professionally and professionally and with courtesy push back, right? And then deliver the client experience.
Right.
Did I push back a little bit? Just enough. And then I flipped it.
Yeah.
And then I told her, I was like, do you think I got to where I got to because I don't finish jobs? Like, you know, I mentioned some payment delays and, you know, some of this. And I said, hey, listen, like I could agree with you that it hasn't been perfect on our end, but we also could agree together that it hasn't been perfect on either end. And so we had a good conversation and I just said, you know, listen, like I'm trying to do everything I can to accommodate what you're asking me to accommodate. However, like you can't expect me to show up at your house at 2 if you reach out at 10:30. You know, like we've been trying to get the schedule since last Thursday.
Yeah.
However, she did reach out yesterday and Dialpad never pushed it through, which really sucks. She screenshotted it to me, and so we have a problem there. So Rachel and Nick are on that. But dude, when clients are reaching out and we don't know, our friends up in Ken Carl reached out yesterday too with a picture and a message, and I could see it in my queue, but it wouldn't come through. So I knew that there was a problem yesterday. So just so you know, if you were expecting messages from certain clients yesterday, they potentially messaged you and we didn't get them. I had problems. Joe had problems. Jeremy had problems. So just a heads up for the sales guys.
Okay.
However, you know, I just like we did the whole thing on speakerphone, took, I don't know, 12, 15 minutes. And he was like, wow, like I get it, you know, and it was cool that he got to see it. Then I said, all right, let's go look at this project. We go in the backyard. I go up to Victor. We're looking at the plumbing, and he put in a valve we didn't need. $100 part. I was like, Victor, what is this? He's like, no, you told me ball valve. I said, that's not a fucking ball valve. That's a two-way turn valve. It does the same thing. I said,
Fine,
yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I said, listen, bro, it is technically fine. However, I asked you to put in a ball valve because when we winterize swimming pools, a ball valve will close and a three-way valve will leak. He put in a two-way, three-way valve, not a ball valve. So it's going to fucking leak. And I tried to explain it to him and he's like, oh, okay. And then he hands me the ground part and he says, hey, I don't have the T fitting for this. I said, what do you mean you don't have it? He's like, it didn't come in plumbing order. I pulled up the plumbing order on my phone. I said, are you talking about this 2-inch by 1-inch union that's on the thing that shows delivered 1? It's not here. I said, where is it? Dude, there's shit all over the yard.
Windy. The wind blew it away.
I don't know. And I'm like, Victor. And I looked at Des and I said, dude, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah.
I just talked to you about efficiency. We used $100 part that we didn't need. We can fix it and we'll fix it.
Sure.
But now I'm going to cut the $100 part out. I can't reuse it because it's glued. Then we have to redo a little bit of plumbing that we've already done to get the new one to fix. Dude, 1 hour. 1 hour, that cost me $110 an hour that I make $11 an hour on. So now it's 10 hours to fix it. And like, dude, you could have just seen Desmond. He was like, oh my God, who am I? He's like, this is nuts. And so we looked at something else. I said, hey, what about this? No problem. And I was like, no, man, like it is a problem. And I'm not trying to be an asshole about it, but like they're in the trailer trying to dig parts out. And I said, hey, didn't I tell you not to use parts out of your trailer unless you tell me that you're missing the part? So there was a different part that sure enough is missing on this organic shaped pool. And if you don't know what an organic shaped
What
pool
does that mean? Is it made of plants?
Too bad. It's made out of recycled cups from Starbucks. It will break down.
Squiggly cups.
2 to 4 weeks. I was drinking coffee the other day and I was looking at this cup and it says like 100% compostable or whatever. I was like, I'm going to throw this thing out the fucking window. Why not? It's not trash. I just throw it out the window, right? I don't want it in my truck. I was looking at it, thinking about it, and I was like, man, I should just throw this thing out the window. Just break down.
It will break down.
My brain is all over the place right now because I have so many things that I'm dealing with. But so then like in 10 minutes, I showed him 2 goals in 10 minutes of him being on the job site with me. But, you know, I told him, I said, dude, this is why on-site superintendent management is so important.
Yeah.
So important, right? Like, and he doesn't understand pools enough to walk up and say that. Dude, I don't even know how this happened. I went over to that project in Cherry Hills Village that needs to put the last piece on hold for a minute. Our guys plumbed it backwards. So I showed up and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, sorry, boss. Sorry. I showed him. I laid it out. I left. He fixed it. Jeremy showed up yesterday, plumbed backwards in a different way.
How's that even possible? It's like
I don't know.
the wormhole. How do you even
Like-
do that? There's like a tear in the
I
time
said something
space
to Joe and
continuum.
he's like, dude, I don't know. It's the 12th equipment set he's plumbed this year. I said, yeah, I get it. But like, this is what I'm talking about. You can't just show up to a job site and look around and take some pictures and say, oh, this looks good and move on. Like, you have to be oversighting what's going on. I don't care how good your guys are. My guys are good. They're building swimming pools start to finish in 9 days. You know, that doesn't exist in our industry from guys who've been building pools for 15 years.
Right. No one's perfect. I mean, there's gonna be
No,
mistakes.
and
It's
they're
like you
gonna
have to
make
review my
mistakes, that's
bids.
fine.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not even like pissed about it.
Right.
I just like, thankfully I caught it today and not in 5 days, right?
Right.
Or not in 6 days, or not at the project walk. Jeremy showed up to a project today to do a final pool school. Showed up. Salt wasn't there. Muriatic acid wasn't there. Pool sink controller wasn't installed. The plumbing wasn't installed. I told him, I was like, bro, how embarrassed were you? You couldn't even deliver the pool.
Hmm.
The homeowner said that we sold it to him, that he would be able to control it from anywhere. He's like, he actually said, Darby said I could get off the plane and turn it up. So just so you know, if we're selling the cheaper sets and you guys sell that, I need to know, because it doesn't come standard. We have to order a special part for that. So when we're working on, I don't even know what they're called. What's that? What's the cheaper system called? Do you remember?
The gecko.
The Gecko. Just so you know, if you guys sell electric geckos like MG, just a heads up, that deal you sold in Denver, there is no Wi-Fi controllability to that. It doesn't come
Okay.
standard. It's a bolt-on. It's not a lot, right? I think we sell them for $500. They cost a couple $100, but just a heads up, if you're selling those, then you need to either tell us so we can add them in the kits, which maybe we should just go in and add them to all the kits, right? Because it's pretty standard. But
I think we should.
right now, none of them come with that. So just the importance of oversight on the job. And because we've talked about it, right? Every time a mistake happens, how many hours does it take to fix it? So one singular ball valve. Let's just say that the valve was $100. Where's a piece of paper? This is going to blow people's minds. This might blow Darby's mind. Now you see me do it before. The valve was $100. It's going to take us an hour to fix it. That's easy. $210, right? Super simple mistake. At 10% net, which I will tell you that most people on this call are not going to hit, but that's the target. We're making $11 an hour. Obviously, not only do we have to recover the hour, but we have to recover the material. So 210 divided by 11. Victor will now have to work for 19.09 perfect hours just for us to break back to zero, just to break even on one small $100 part.
Crazy.
19 hours to fix that and become profitable. Because when you only make $11 an hour at 10% net, it takes 19 hours of perfect work with no mistakes to make up the cost of the part and the labor. So realistically, 4 guys on site, let's just say they work 8-hour days, but let's round it up to 20. Let's say they work 10-hour days. Tomorrow, I'm going to have 4 guys on site. 2 of them are going to work for 10 hours, basically just to get me back to zero. And then 2 of them will work for a profit of $220 for the day. Like, that's how fast it turns, and people don't realize that. What if it was like a big mistake? Like, what if it was a mistake that took 5 hours to fix with 4 guys? You're going to work for free for 5 days to get back.
But even a bunch of little mistakes like that, you're hemorrhaging money. Like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
even if it's just a bunch of little ones, it doesn't have to be big ones. Jesus, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, 19 hours worth of labor,
Yeah.
perfect labor with no more mistakes to get you back to a net zero. And then you get to try to start making money again. Right. So think about it for you guys out there that are doing jobs in like 2 to 5 days. When you make a mistake, there might not even be enough time to get you back to break zero, to net zero, break
Right.
even. You know, for us, I can fix that mistake because I'm going to be on this job site for another 20 days, right? With all the extra work that's coming. And we're currently, I don't know, 135 hours ahead of schedule. So not the end of the world, but it still makes me mad. You know, like, so doing, if you have to do anything twice, like if you're thinking you're going to have to do work twice, your bid needs to be double, right? Your labor needs to be double. Maybe your material doesn't, but your labor would have to be double. Putting pavers down, pulling pavers out, putting pavers down, pulling pavers out. Like, it's just a lose. And here's the thing that makes me even more irritated about it. The guys in the field get paid, right? Like, we put in the wrong valve and they fixed it. They still got paid.
Yeah.
But Rocky Mountain didn't get paid. So the oversight management on your projects are so crucial because you don't understand what's going on when you're not there. What if the guys sit in the trailer for 1 hour, 4 of them? That's 440 hours that you have to make up at $11 an hour. So if they sat in the trailer for an extra hour during the day because it was cold, it would take you 40 hours just to break even from just sitting in the trailer for 1 hour. You know, nobody thinks about that.
No, I mean, that's just like business ending stuff. Really. It's crazy.
For sure. You know, it makes a significant difference when you're watching your jobs at that pace. You know, like it would be crazy how much money we would make if I had one pool crew, one hardscapes crew, and I just managed the pools myself. Like, we just in the pool we finished in Greeley, because our overhead would be so low, I would have netted 95 grand in 9 days. $95,000 in 9 days. I could just build 5 pools a year and make $500,000.
Yeah.
Right? The problem for me is that I have this vision that's so big that'll never happen. Can't buy a jet on a 500 grand a year. You know, like, it's not scalable and it's not exitable. So you have to train the vision of project management and superintendents on the site. And you have to become so efficient, it's dangerous. You know, and so we're there in swimming pools. We're not there in hardscapes, right? And so since my sales team's on the call, I'm just going to put it out there. Like, I have it on next week's sales meeting. Every single deal moving forward, when you close a deal for pavers, I need the exact paver and color in Aspire. Because what's happening, and thank God I'm catching it, the team is literally using Aspire exact to order. We're sending the wrong shit out. Tim had the entire pool equipment order on his truck. And I called Jordan up and said, "Hey man, could you send me that order really quick?" I said, "Tim, don't go anywhere." The order was like 16,500. I went through it and I said, "Jordan, you're going to kill me. I apologize." And I sent him a picture and I scratched all this shit out. We gave 80% of the materials back, took back a few of the right things. Most of it we didn't need. And the order went from that to $8,500. Darby, what do you think would have happened with all those materials if they showed up?
Well, I mean, they would have gotten put in.
Well, they potentially would have gotten put in, right?
Yeah.
So we would have had loss of materials and extra labor. What do you think would have happened if the guys got them and they're like, "Oh, I don't need that"?
Probably end up in a trailer somewhere.
They just end up in a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
I went to the yard the other day and I'm like, "Oh my God, what is all this shit?" I went to the yard like 2 months ago and cleared it all out. And now I got a whole nother inventory of pool shit again. Like, well, Jeremy called me today and he said, "Nick, I went to do that pool delivery. The pool sink's not on site." I said, "Where the fuck is it?" "I don't know." I said, "What did Joe say?" "I don't know." I said, "Who is going to pay for a $225 pool sink controller? It shows on the order that it was delivered. What do you mean you don't know where it's at?"
My God.
You know, I'll tell you what happened. It got thrown in the trash pile. and it's gone. You know how many times the boys from Cutting Edge, when we install pools for them, threw away the box with the plastic dispenser for the muriatic acid?
Oh my God.
You know, like it's just dumb shit. And the guys are moving really fast
Yeah.
and they're trying to be efficient. And at the same time, the mistakes are happening. You know, like I told Joe just yesterday, I said, bro, I'm going to slow this shit down if we can't keep up. I like at the pace that we're moving. But if we can't, if we can't keep up in the field and manage product in the field and waste in the field, it's not worth it.
Right.
I don't care if we beat a project by 35% if we waste 25% of materials. You know, dude, think about it this way. I know at Robbins we didn't, right? But that project, we beat labor by 35%. We beat materials by 22%. We potentially had 10% of waste. What if we beat it by 35% in labor and 35% of materials?
Right.
You know, we didn't waste anything there because I was all over that job. But I'll tell you that, like, so many guys are like, Nick, I'm making money, but I have no money.
Right.
Because you are probably actually bidding your jobs correctly, but you're not managing them worth shit. I said it. I'm flipping the script. You hire a salesperson before a project manager or a superintendent, because the most valuable piece of your business is production in the field. And if you're like, let me see if he's on here. Oh, who's Fernando? We got a new guy. We got to say hi to Fernando, Darby.
Yeah. Hello, Fernando.
We'll have to have him introduce himself here in a minute. Dude, Calvin. He's like, oh, I'm just going to hire a superintendent or project manager this year, and I'm just going to sell. I said, bullshit, you are. I said, dude, every time I go to your site, your guys are just chilling in the fucking trailer. Like, what the, you know, like, dude, you want to move the needle? Move it in the field. You are going to move margins with labor. Like, I mean, we've all seen it, right? So Leslie and I did a hardscapes review on Monday. And I think she was actually really excited. We didn't go through all the jobs, but we went through 3 or 4. We started with Durland, smoked it. And then we went to Robbins, smoked it, right? Then we were, oh yeah, shit, I shouldn't be saying these names. Rachel keeps telling me. We went through 4 jobs. We beat every one of them. I said, Leslie, what has changed? And she said, well, I'll tell you. She said, the first thing, and it's probably the biggest thing, is that you're actively managing projects. The second thing is that Aspire is so accurate, it's crazy, right? We're not wasting time. We're not wasting money. We're not wasting labor, because the things are showing up that are supposed to show up. You know, we're not sending materials out to a job site and then having the company come back, repick them up, and bring us the right materials because the wrong ones got delivered. You know, we're not buying materials that we don't need and then storing them in our trailers for, you know, 2 to 4 months till I realize we have them, or we're long enough that, and I hate to say it, but we're long enough that the guys are like, we're never going to use this. I'm just going to go take this shit and sell it on eBay. You know, like the last order that just came was the last order that Anne-Marie did. And I told Jordan, I said, dude, I don't know what happened. Like, it was fucked. Like back to like day one. And I told him, I said, Jordan, if this stuff would have come out here, you never would have gotten it back. Because he's like, Nick, just take what you need and return the rest. And I'm like, no, if you take that to my job site, it will never end up back at your house.
Oh my
Project. It won't. You know, here's another thing. And dude, this happens all over the place. I'm curious here who installs pavers. If you're not on the project while these are going in, and you get 5 layers that are chipped, trashed, and the guys just call you and say, hey, we need another half a pallet of pavers. Okay, and you send it. Well, all of those pavers were returnable or defect in production, and you just bought another half a pallet of pavers and you didn't have to. Like this is a big thing for us. Joe's constantly pushing back on the vendor. Hey, these pavers are cracked. These pavers are chipped. These pavers are discolored. I can't use them. You know, like if you're not actively managing your job sites and your guys are just calling you and saying, hey, I need 25 more pieces. Are you asking why?
Right.
Cristobal the other day installed a patio. I sent him the exact amount of chip. He texted me, Nick, I'm short 2 tons. I knew right away. I was pissed. 2 tons of chip. I don't know, $120 plus another delivery fee.
Right.
So I drove out there to see what the hell was going on. They put like 1.25 inch, maybe 1.5 inch chip underneath the pavers, which is okay on 3/8. That is not how we build patios.
Right.
The system is calculated for 1 inch. So I'll tell you right now that when my guys come up short on materials, it's because they're not following the installation guide that is set for them, which will then also prevent warranty issues in the future.
All
if
right.
you're needing more chip or more sand, you know the calculation in which your patio is supposed to be laid at. What happens when you put 2 inches of sand under pavers, Darby?
2 inches of sand under pavers?
Yeah, they fail,
Yeah, they fail.
right? So the system, while you're managing the project, will protect yourself. Because if you order out 4 tons of sand and the guys are saying, hey, we're short 2 tons. No, you're not. You installed the patio wrong. You used the wrong pipes to screed it. You didn't set the right depths. Dude, every time the guys tell me they need more 3/4 inch, they over excavated the patio. You know how much
Right.
money it cost us when you over excavate a patio? Great. It's stronger. You're right. It's a better install. I don't fucking care.
Right.
You didn't install it to the plan, which cost us more money. And they don't understand how crucial that is because when they over excavate, which takes an extra 10 hours, and then they have to bring in an extra 2 inches worth of 3/4 inch and takes another 10 hours, they get paid.
Right.
You know, like they don't feel the effect that we feel because they get paid. You know, like I had it out with one of the guys today, not like crazy, but you know, I was telling Desmond about it, managing jobs. Let's see. He told me I was a pussy and I had small huevos.
One of the crew guys did?
Mm-hmm.
Where will they
let's
work
see.
tomorrow?
It's 19 degrees tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I said, hey man, I don't know if we're going to work tomorrow. I'll let you know, or we're going to have a late start. He's like, no. I said, yes. Friday, 16 degrees. How efficient do you think we are when it's that temperature outside?
Right. Not.
Darby, you're really blurry for some reason. Is he blurry to you, Rachel, or is it my end? Yeah,
I am?
Yeah.
Jeez.
90% chance of rain between now and 9 p.m. Interesting. Damn. Next week, 61, 65, 65, 65, 61, 68. So, are your guys doing work? And that's better. And the site is muddy, right? Like, how efficient are they? How efficient are your guys when it's 19 degrees outside?
Well, they're going to tear shit up that's going to have to be fixed too if they're working when it's muddy. So then you're making more work for yourself.
Yep. Dude, I read to Desmond today our disclosure about site restoration. He was fucking mind blown. He said to me when we were driving, he said, dude, if my boss knew half of what you told me just today, our company would be in a better position.
Yeah. Well,
I said, well, time to join Elevate. Then I guess
Right.
I'll find out where you're working. He asked him where he went. He wouldn't tell him. He said,
oh, really? Well, he'll find out.
oh, I'm sure he will.
He'll find out eventually.
Well,
Hey, it's
he'll
Elevate to
find out
Greatness.
because- yeah.
It's Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt every Wednesday, 6 p.m. You can go to elevatetogreatness.co to find out more about the events we have coming up. You can find out about the Heartbeat community. We had our first event last time flies. It was a while ago. Now we're going to be doing another one here coming up. So stay tuned for details on that as well. Sorry to interrupt you. Just doing,
No, you're fine.
So anyway, the efficiencies of where he worked before, where he works now. I mean, that is going to be mind blowing. It's his first day too. It's his
Yeah, I
first day
told him,
saying,
I
"Oh, this
said-
is wait."
I said, listen, man. Rachel and I chose to hire you because we think you're coachable, and don't take it the wrong way. But everything you think you know is wrong. I told him that today where we were driving around. And I said, and you'll see why, right? And I'm not trying to be an asshole about it. It will prove itself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here blowing smoke up your ass, trying to tell you a bunch of things that I think I know that I don't know. Like, it's proven. I know that I know. I know how it works. And every single time I touch a job, it's proven. So
You'll know that you know too. Everyone that works for you knows that you know. So that's why everybody follows the process, because we know that you know, we know that it works. So
Yeah.
he'll know.
I mean, when Avery was here, I was talking to him, and he's like, dude, I don't even know how much stuff I can sell this year. And I said, why? And he's like, we're basically sold out, and I was thinking about it. And I think now that Avery's kind of seen what's happened, and it's really unfortunate that some people surrounding him aren't on board, but they basically have enough pools sold that it puts them through the season. Dude, if we were installing those pools for them, they have enough pools sold for 8 weeks, right? Like, these pools can be installed at a pace that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And like, Desmond was telling me, he's like, dude, it's crazy that you guys are still working, even though the weather's super good, because most businesses have run out of work. And I said, yeah. I said, we had a lot of backlog. And just so you guys know, on the sales side, Rachel and I, as soon as we're done here finishing the board, if shells were in stock, I could have them in the ground before Memorial Day. Guaranteed.
Wow.
And so I told him I don't think it's gonna happen. However, I do believe we're getting close to operations catching sales. And so we need some big snowstorms is what we need. But I mean, it's not a bad thing, right? Like, how the guy's gonna bitch. Like, they've worked an average of 57 hours for the last 12 weeks. Tell me where anybody else is doing that. And we still have a lot of pools to get in the ground. But I also told him, I said, Desmond, we may not catch sales, but we're catching permits. Victor's ready to move on Monday, and the permit's not ready on either of them.
Oh, see, that's the thing. Yeah.
So that's another. So, hey, just, your dog shit sparkly pool arrives tomorrow. I'll send you some pictures. That's the color, right? We're calling it dog shit sparkle.
Don't know that that's the color that they have it in the catalog, but
So it's coming tomorrow. It'll be
Okay.
interesting because that was a pool that I ordered pre-plumbed and pre this and pre that, and it's going to be here tomorrow at 9. We'll take some videos and some pictures.
That'd be great. We can send it to them.
Yeah. So what I'll tell you is either that one or Colorado Golf is next. It's whichever permit hits first.
Okay.
But they're both here and they're both ready. However, the splash pad is going to come out of the home show on Monday. So I think the next 2 days of cold will help a bit. I'm going to get the splash pad out of the pool, out of the home show into Victor as fast as we can. And then he'll have to install the splash pad from Monday till like probably Wednesday. So we'll be ready to start one of those 2 next Thursday. But I don't want to do a pre-project walk on both of them. Allie's pushing really hard. She's going to give me an answer tomorrow or the next day on which one she thinks is next.
Cool.
So I can't stress how important it is to have good oversight on your projects. And the thing for me is, like, we've gotten to the point where we hire a set of eyes on behalf of my eyes.
Right.
It is so important that training is so clear of what the expectations are. Like, I showed him all the coping that we cut today on that pool in Aurora. Dude, it's so fire. It's nuts. Like, the pie slices, the consistency, every single one is cut on both sides. Like, I showed him today. I said, let's see if we can find one area that's not what I expected. And I found 2 pieces and they were 85% correct. Like I told him, I said, to be honest, I wouldn't really pull these out, but I'm really, really trying to find something that is not to my level of expectation. So, have a process for what site inspection looks like for you. I don't just sit at my sites all day long. I'm on site once a day right now during training. And, you know, obviously I took it over for like the last 7 weeks or so. I hit my sites once a day, but like my guys have such great clarity in the systems and the processes to request materials and to do pictures at the end of every day. Last week I built the garden and home show and I didn't go to 2 projects the entire week. Both of them beat the labor. And neither one of them had issues because they knew, right? Like they knew what the expectations are.
Right.
The team leads take a ton of pride in their work. And like, I mean, I'm going to figure out a way to kind of stick around a little bit. You know, Leslie says, Nick, it's because your eyes are on projects. Even if I'm not doing this job, I need to figure out how to just show up to projects more often. Right.
There's
Like
no
if I
doubt
was
that has
hitting
to be
every
done.
single project once or twice a week,
Yeah.
then it would probably stay where it's at, you know, or potentially even increase. But all the crews across the board are becoming more efficient.
Definitely.
And I do really give a lot of credit to Aspire, you know, and I'm not cheating on Aspire. Don't start any bullshit rumors, anybody on this call. I do have a demo with a company called Liquify on Friday. It's a new software. They claim that they can do what Aspire does. I don't know the founder personally, but I know of him. And on top of that, he's giving away a free, like, learn how to calculate your labor and charge it back to clients thing included. It's funny. He's sending me all these text messages and he's like, Nick, I'm going to 10X your business and I'm going to show you stuff that you have no idea even exists and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, see you Friday, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna
Like,
that's
he
gonna
has
be
no idea who I am or where we're I filled out an ad on Facebook. And to be honest, like I was like, he reached out a few times and I finally took it. I have no interest in moving. Right. However, someday he might get there. Dude, his software is $199 a month. We pay $5,600.
Yeah, that's more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm curious, right?
Sure.
I know of him and it's a new release, but I'm really excited I have a whole list of things I wrote down today. Like I'm going to say, hey, listen, show me how accurate job costing goes into your system through purchase orders and against work tickets. And he's just going to be dead in the face.
Poor dude.
I'm going to let him give me the whole demo and then I'm going to give it back to him. We're going to see. I mean, every software starts off somewhere. And he'll get there, you know,
I mean,
it'll
this will
probably-
actually help him.
Probably. And
Probably
for
doing him a solid.
$199, like, dude, it's actually probably fairly legit. We, for a very short period of time, had JobTread, and I canceled and I gave the founder feedback and I told him why. They hit 10,000 subscribers yesterday.
Wow.
We need to be in the software business.
God, no kidding.
Their software is $199 a month.
10,000 people, 10,000 subscribers. That's pretty good.
Yep. You know what the number is?
Well, it's what for a year? I don't know what it is.
It's 1.99 million a month. And the overhead's not crazy.
That's
$2
about
million
right.
a month, probably at a net profit of 70%.
Yeah, that's pretty damn
So
good.
the software business is nuts. I'd love to build a software. I just don't have time right now. I have enough shit on my plate. It's the
They're
first
kinda
time
busy.
you've ever heard me say that. For
That
right
actually
this
is, yeah.
second. For right
That's
this
true.
second. I have enough shit on my plate until May 1st. May 1st? Rachel
Is that
doesn't
what-
know either that we're moving to Michigan part-time because apparently Avery wants me to start a business out there.
That's not how it's supposed to work. He's coming back here. Why
No,
do
he
I
is
have
coming
to?
back here.
Yeah.
Dude, just start a business here. Like someone asked me the other day, he's like, well, what do you think about that? And I was like, dude, the hardest part for me about Michigan is you can't work in December, January, February, and March, right? Like the ground is frozen solid and you're covered in snow. And I think I'd go nuts. The other thing is I just question, you know, what I think is always interesting is people ask, hey, what's your labor rate here? Hey, what are you charging? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, we do this. The cost to install anything in Michigan at minimum should be 1.4 times the rate of Colorado because you have to recover overhead in 6 or 7 months. And I get to recover overhead in 9.5 months. So if you took Rocky Mountain Outdoor Living and copied and pasted them and stuffed them in Michigan, our price would go up 35% tomorrow because I cannot actively produce enough work to recover overhead in the same amount of time. I have to do it in a lesser amount of time. So that means my hourly rate's going to go up, right? Like here, my hourly rate is like 87 and 101 for hardscape, landscape, and pools. There, dude, it's going to have to be 100 and maybe 125. Like my rent here and my rent there are still the same. My controller here and my controller there are still the same, right? Phone bill, phone bill. Office space, office space. Trucks, trucks. Insurance, insurance. All of it is the same. However, in Colorado, I can recover all of that in 9 months. And in Michigan, I have to recover it in 6 months. So my price has to be that much higher, or I have to do that much more work in order to get back to the same profitability. The more I was thinking about it and talking about it, you know what I should do? I should start a fucking landscape business in San Diego.
I was just gonna say, like, you flip it the other direction, like where Israel is, like where it's.
Dude, you want to know why
100 degrees every
pools are
goddamn day of the
so...
week, the year, yeah.
Dude, the more I'm talking about it, I'll tell you why pools are less expensive in Arizona.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with more pools. The equipment is still the same fucking price.
Yeah.
And the labor is still the same labor. I get to recover Leslie's salary over 12 months instead of 9.
Yeah.
What do you think happens when you get 90 more days worth of work?
A quarter of the
You
year.
recover 25% more. Realistically, super easy, quick numbers. It cost me 25% less to run my business in Arizona, San Diego, Texas, Florida, Nashville,
Sure.
any of the southern states. Run them across the board. Why do you think Toll Brothers homes in Texas are less expensive than Colorado? You think because they magically get materials that are less expensive and labor that's less expensive? No. Right. It's because they can build 12 months a year.
That's wild.
Like,
I actually hadn't thought of it that way before.
Take the 1/3 southern states in the United States, the 1/3 most southern states. If you're looking to start this business, start it in the lower 1/3, and you'll have a 25% better chance of becoming more successful.
See, everybody, we meandered at the beginning, but you got that shit at the end. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's how it goes here.
Did the last 10 minutes, I'm telling you right now, take the last 10 minutes, take the prior 10 minutes, take the prior 10 minutes, right? Like, and Avery, I'm going to call you. I'm not blowing you off. It's just been hell. Dude, I'm thinking about it. You want to know where it actually came from the most? Justin Anderson. You know, I coach him in Minnesota. I will install more pools in 2026 between January 1st and the day he can put a shovel in the ground than he will install all year.
Right.
Because I live in a climate that allows me to work. Like, dude, right now I live in a climate that allows me to work 12 months a year.
Yeah. Right now it's crazy. Avery, you'd be selling a lot of pools right now, man.
Dude, like it's nuts, you know? And so the other thing, and like, I'll tell you, Avery, the one thing I hope you took out of this, and the one thing I'm going to tell you, you're ready to start your own company when you know how to manage it in the field, right? Like, how are you going to install something if you're trying to figure out how to install it? You know, like, I think I'm going to use Avery as an example. And if it's a problem, tell me to stop. It's funny because Darby, I tell you all the time, people who start construction companies are great with their hands, right? They're visionaries. They're not great with administration. They're not great with technology. They're not great with finance. They're not great with systems. They are not great with process.
Right.
Avery, you're good at all those things.
He is.
Right? Like, it's a flip. People who start these businesses are builders. It's rare that you see someone who starts this business that's good on the administrative side. Because in order to start this business, you have to be able to install, right? And Tigran brings this up a little bit, and he does bring up some good points. Find yourself people who are good at installation, right? Go find someone who knows how to install pavers. Go find someone who knows how to install pools. Go find someone. However, it will work to an extent. But if you want to obsess over efficiency, Victor knows how to install pools. I know how to install them better, right?
That's the thing, right?
I told him the ball valve was wrong. The ball valve he put in, it's not a problem. It's a 19-hour mistake. How many people would know that that mistake was worth 19 hours worth of labor? Right?
Right.
That's $1,900 worth of build labor for one ball valve that was wrong. Instead of putting in a traditional ball valve, we put in a mechanical ball valve. How many people would have caught it? The valve he put in is just fine. It's just not for the reasons that I'm wanting him to do it.
Mhm.
And technically it's a waste of money. And technically it's a waste of labor. And now we're going to take that one out and put in the right one. Or we shouldn't have just put one in general. The three-way that we have already functions the way he installed what he installed. So we would have better off just not putting it in than putting in what we put in, right? So like when we show up, two more examples. When I showed up to that equipment and it was plumbed backwards, would have you caught that? You know, like, dude, I'm going to say it anyways because I don't give a shit. We were at Niederwater 2 days ago. I don't know if we told you, but they asked us to summarize the pool like 3 weeks ago. And we're like, our heads are spinning. And so we get the heater worked for like 15 minutes. And all of a sudden, Jeremy and I looked over and it was like, and there was this huge plume of smoke that came out of it and it stopped. And I was like, oh my God, we ran over there. I thought it was going to catch on fire. We got the heater shut off. We couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure it out. Turn it on, turn it off, turn it off, turn it on, turn it on. Called Hayward. Hayward's like, check this, check that. None of that worked. I went back the next day, turned it on, it worked. 10 minutes later, it shut off. And I'm like, what is going on? I actually recorded a video on Sunday, Darby, and I didn't send it to you. I got home and my pool was 67 degrees and I tore the whole fucking heater apart. I took all the panels off. I had my voltmeter out there. I figured it out. It took me about an hour. I was on YouTube. I had my computer on the filter next to the heater. I was watching videos. I was following these troubleshooting schematics that I found online. I had my voltmeter. I don't know how to test what the hell was the name? It's not currency. When you basically put a positive and a negative on it and it beeps, you're testing for connectivity.
Yeah.
It's a different word, but I didn't know what it means. So I YouTube how to do it. Then I found my voltmeter. Then I tested it and I went one by one and I figured it out. And then I bypassed the sensor because we went all the way to Vail this weekend. We were skiing. When we got there, they told us their hot tub wasn't working. So I told my brother and his friends, don't worry about it. When you come back to my house, you can use ours. I got home Sunday morning. It was 67 degrees. Normally I would have been like, I don't give a shit, but I was on a mission. So I figured it out. Right. So then back at that project I was telling you about in Aurora, dude, my head was spinning. Jeremy couldn't figure it out. I said, bro, I bet you I can figure it out now because I know how to cut. Conductivity is that? No, that's not exactly how whatever. Close. Dude, the whole time. Jeremy calls me yesterday, sends me a video, goes, you're not going to believe it. Continuity. Boom. There you go. Thank you, Israel. And Trevor. Welcome back, Trevor. Man, I haven't seen Trevor in a hot minute. So continuity. All right, I'll never forget it. Guess what, Darby? Victor plumbed the heater backwards. We were putting the water into the heater and the outlet and out of the heater and the inlet. So Hayward came to our office today and I said, dude, how does this happen? He said, Nick, I've seen it work for 3 months before it stopped.
Oh, no.
This whole time, it was a plumbing issue.
Crazy.
Like, if you didn't know that, right? Like, how long, how much shit would have you torn apart? How much time? So I tell everybody, when you're ready to build swimming pools, or you think you are, hire a partner for 2 years to build them for you. Learn as much as you can. And then when you think you're ready, make sure you have enough money in the bank to build it twice. Not because you're going to have to build it twice, but you're going to have to figure out shit that's worth 2 times the amount of money. Jeremy, who's my service tech, who I personally trained for the last 6 months, who I would tell you is pretty good, and myself, who is crazy obsessed, spent 30 hours on that project trying to figure out what the problem was. And it was because the fucking plumbing was installed backwards. Such a rookie mistake. I sent it to Victor in a video. He didn't even know what to say. He was like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Do you want me to fix it tomorrow?" I said, "I already fixed it." But like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it's something that's so minor and so stupid. And we sent videos to the Hayward Tech. And when I talked to him today, he's like, "Nick, I can't believe I didn't catch it." Like usually the first thing I do is say, "Okay, plumbing, pump, filter, heater, cool." He said that it's always where I start when there's a problem. Because if there's a problem, it's often because something is backwards.
Right.
And he didn't, and I didn't, and Jeremy didn't. You know, I'll give Jeremy a little credit. The day we decided to do this, it was so balls cold. The sun went down. We were summarizing a pool in the winter. It was an absolute terrible idea. We were standing on like ice cold pavers and dress shoes. Me, Jeremy had at least work boots on. I called Rachel. I was in the truck shivering, and I had to like wait for 5 minutes before I left just to warm up because it was so cold. So obviously at that state, you're not like thinking about all the things exactly how you should be, but like, that's the thing, you know, like I would tell you, if you want to get in the space, step number one is to understand how it all works. And so Avery's doing the right things, right? He's going to some of these conferences, he's going to ImmerSpa, he's going to trainings, he's watching some of this stuff. But if you choose to stick where you're at right now for the rest of the year, become obsessed with the installation process. I know that you're technically in sales. However, everybody on this call, if you want your businesses to become more successful, become obsessed with what's going on in the field and less about what's going on in the sales process.
There it is. There it is, everybody. It's Elevate to Greatness with Nick Lippitt every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Head to elevatetogreatness.co and look for the podcast of this the following day. That would be tomorrow on Spotify, so you can find it. If you missed some of it, you can listen to it. You want to hear it again, you can listen to it again. We'll be back